is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Nasha Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Off the top, a disturbing situation out of Opa-locka. Police say a man was shot and killed. CBS News Miami's Peter Dinch has the report.
This is where Keon Smith lost his life here in Opa-locka. His brother tells me that the gunman broke in through this window right here that's now boarded up in the apartment where he was sleeping and ordered him to go outside, and then he shot him. Smith had been a football coach for the past few decades, and for the past few years had been a coach at Miami Norland Senior High School. Tell me about Keon. What's he like as a person?
Great person, great coach, great role model. My brother. My blood brother, family.
What did he mean to you?
A whole lot. He meant a whole lot to me. A whole lot. Everything I know and get from him. I coach football. We all coach football. I've been coaching football, youth football for 20 years. My brother is a coach right now at Norland. And as you know, Norland was one of the best football teams in Miami-Dade last year. My brother's on the offensive coordinator, Keon Smith. He's been in football all his life. He graduated from Miami Springs.
Smith's brother tells us that a woman who was with Smith ran out and called for help. We'll have much more on this story coming up live at 5 in just 1 hour. In Opa-locka, Peter Dinch, CBS News, Miami.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look outside, a beautiful shot, but scattered showers are moving out of the area, and a change is coming this week. Let's get right to Next Weather Chief Meteorologist and Hurricane Specialist Ivan Cabrera.
Good to see you here on a Monday, Naja. And absolutely, you know, the steering currents are always calling these shots. We have showers and storms typically this time of year across South Florida, but it's where they end up that is key. And right now, the winds have been favoring our side of the peninsula, and that the west side of South Florida right now is getting in on the rainfall. That's an east wind, right? So everything gets pushed towards the southwest, and we continue to see the showers and storms that we did get earlier this afternoon now beginning to move out of the picture here. And of course, on the rain tracker, you'll be able to see that, but pretty quiet now everything across the Everglades on this Monday afternoon. As we check in on showers and storms, they'll continue developing. The heating of the day is still there, but again, over mainland Monroe County, and they're going to continue heading over towards the southwest of the peninsula. Temperatures right now in the mid-80s. It's a comfortable evening. We'll have temperatures in the lower 80s. Rain chances minimal here with the additional chance of a shower as we head into the late evening hours. But otherwise, we're going to be in a pretty quiet mode here. And then our winds are going to start shifting by the time we get into the middle part of the week. Late in the week, we're going to have showers and storms developing, but they're going to favor our side of the peninsula here. So on the 7-day forecast, you'll be able to see that change as far as rain chances. And we're looking at 10% coverage for tomorrow between 10 and 20. And then for the rest of the week, we'll look at coverage up to 30 and 40%. Each afternoon, we'll have those storms. And with that change in the wind direction, they're going to be moving to our side. Temperatures climbing, by the way, as well, with a heat index approaching 100 by the end of the week.
Singer and rapper Sean Kingston appeared before a judge. He was booked into the Broward County Jail last night. This comes as Kingston waived his right to fight extradition in California last Tuesday. He and his mother are charged with committing more than $1 million worth of fraud. CBS News Miami's Joan Murray will have the very latest on this story coming up at 5. Basketball Hall of Fame center and Heat legend Alonzo Mourning has undergone surgery. It's to remove his prostate. That's after a diagnosis of stage 3 prostate cancer. According to ESPN, he had the procedure back in March. Additional testing revealed it did not spread to anywhere else in his body. A murder-suicide in Kendale Lakes. The tragedy left the neighborhood in shock. CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor has the report.
Police said that this house right behind me is where it all happened, and here it's where we talked to the daughter of a friend of the elderly lady that was shot and killed. Let me take you to some backgrounds, because the house is located on Southwest 147th Court and 4500 block in Kendale Lakes. Police confirmed 4 people were found dead inside on Sunday. Investigators ruled it as a murder-suicide. The stepson of the couple is the one who notified police. Inside were his 85-year-old stepmother and her ex-husband, along with the stepmother's son and wife. Joanna Cruz came with her mother. She entered the house right after the stepson of the couple, and she describes the gruesome scene that she saw.
After waiting over an hour for the police to come, we went in. He went in first. I went after him, and I saw the elderly lady's body on the bed to the right, the elderly man's body to the other bed on the left, the wife in the other room also with her head facing up. And I'm numb about it. I know my mother's very affected. She started getting very shaky. I had to lift her up because, I mean, it's a dear friend of hers.
Investigators say that they also found a gun inside the house, and apparently it was used by the elderly couple's son. Miami-Dade police said that they're expecting to release the name of the victims this afternoon, as well as any additional details. Coming up at 5 p.m., we'll have a story with all that information. We are in Kendale Lakes. Ivan Taylor, CBS News, Miami.
Up in smoke, Chopper 4 over the scene of a house fire in Miami. You can see that smoke billowing into the air. Fire crews worked to put out the flames. Happened along Northwest 30th Avenue and 4th Terrace. Rescue crews say 4 people have been displaced. Authorities are investigating what sparked that fire. Investigators are searching for clues into what sparked a supermarket fire in Hialeah. This is drone video courtesy of Hialeah Fire Rescue. You can see the flames shooting from the roof of the National Supermarket last night. It's along Palm Avenue and 54th Street. Fire started just after 8 o'clock last night in the back of the business. Chopper 4 was over the supermarket this morning. Crews remained on the scene hours after that fire started. Fire Rescue tells us the business was closed at the time. No one was hurt. When we come back, Dr. Anthony Fauci grilled on Capitol Hill. The questions about the government's COVID response and more. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Now at 4, Dr. Anthony Fauci testified at a House subcommittee hearing. He's being grilled by the Republican-led House panel. It's on the government's handling of the COVID-19 virus and where it originated. In his testimony, Fauci told lawmakers that misinformation and disinformation led to public confusion. Dr. Fauci addressed an accusation that he briefed scientists to change a report on COVID's origin.
The accusation being circulated that I influenced these scientists to change their minds by bribing them with millions of dollars in grant money is absolutely false and simply preposterous. I had no input into the content of the published paper.
Fauci was last on Capitol Hill in January. It was for 2 days of closed-door interviews. It is the largest wildfire in California this year. More than 14,000 acres have already burned. Thousands of people east of San Francisco are under evacuation warnings. CBS News Miami's Ben Tracy is in Northern California with the report.
One structure on the ground.
The Corral fire ignited in San Joaquin County Saturday afternoon. By Sunday, it had exploded to 14,000 acres and counting. The cause is under investigation.
Fire crews are out battling this fire in very tall, dried grass.
Cal Fire Battalion Chief Josh Silvera said dry conditions and high winds are fueling the blaze. As more than 400 personnel work to contain it, 2 firefighters were injured over the weekend and are expected to recover.
It was fanned very, very quickly. The fire was growing faster than we could post updates.
Time-lapse footage shows when the fire began Saturday, as billowing clouds of smoke rapidly grew in size. Later, an airplane passenger flying into San Francisco captured this footage of the spreading flames from above.
There's a fire on 580.
The conditions also led to the temporary closure of 2 highways that have since reopened. Thousands of people were asked to evacuate as the fire left swaths of scorched earth in its wake, with some properties leveled and others narrowly spared.
Everything was getting lit on fire. It was intense.
Kern Gill took this video of the fire closing in on his home. He said he and a neighbor stayed behind to fight the flames off, even pulling water from a swimming pool.
We took just anything we had that could pail water, buckets, cans, whatever we could find. I feel like if I wasn't here, everything would have burned down.
Now, the fire started near the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. They do research there on nuclear weapons and climate tech. We're told the flames did not reach the lab and that there is no damage. Ben Tracy, CBS News in Tracy, California.
Now to the Panthers' hunt for the Stanley Cup. The Oilers defeated the Dallas Stars last night. They won the Western Conference in 6 games. The win means the Panthers will have to deal with Connor McDavid. He is arguably the best player in the sport, but the Panthers will have home ice advantage in the Stanley Cup final. So here is a look at the schedule. Games 1 and 2 in Sunrise starting Saturday night. June 10th is Game 2. Then the series heads to Canada for Games 3 and 4. This series will alternate between locations. That's starting with Game 5 in Sunrise, if necessary, the following week. And make sure to join us for Panthers pregame show Hunt for the Cup. CBS News Miami's Steve Goldstein and Mike Cunha will preview every game for the Stanley Cup final. That is before the puck drops on CBSMiami.com. You can also find us on the CBS News app or Pluto TV. We are working on several stories for you today. Here's a look at what is coming up all new on CBS News Miami at 5. As inflation drives up the cost of food, some restaurants are fighting the pressure to charge more. How some companies are dealing with the issue, all new at 5. That's the CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.